I'm a music teacher and I have never heard the Super Mario Land 2 original soundtrack before in my life, so join me as we discover hidden connections, learn a little bit about music, and have some fun along the way. We're gonna get started with File Select. Let's rock and roll. Okay, so this really beautiful melody here that's creating an arpeggio of one of these Super Mario-esque chord progressions. We can hear at the beginning. Bum, 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 ba-dum. It's like a 1-6-2-5 that we heard in Super Mario World. Now in here, Super Mario Land, I'll play with it. Maybe that's gonna go 6. Like 5, 6 to 6. Then maybe there's a 5 of 2 in there. 2, 5, 1. Either way, this delightful, playful arpeggio is setting the tone and the theme for everything we're about to do. So let's see what happens here in the Overworld map. Okay, really interesting. So, kind of in the key of B flat. Again, we're hearing, just like we did Super Mario Land 1, things are maybe a little bit different than the console games, these handheld games, acting a little bit different. It sounds to me like a 1 going to a 2, but there's some things happening over this that are not quite so 1-ish and not quite so 2-ish. Maybe it's really E flat this whole time. Yeah. So it has a 7 in there. It's a dominant 7 chord, and I'm calling this a 2, not a 5 of 5, because it's not functioning as a secondary dominant. If you wanted to learn more about secondary dominants, go check out our Super Mario 1, 2, and 3. I believe it was Super Mario 2. I gave a nice in-depth discussion breakdown on secondary dominants. Let's check out this next one, which is called F flat. We're hearing bits of our file select theme here. Or maybe it's the overall thing we just heard and I'm forgetting. I love the bands are all and if you like think about this, if we use like quote unquote real instruments, a banjo would go very well here. So we're hearing something, and I think Rubberman202 pointed this out in the chat. This is actually similar to what we heard in Super Mario World, in the sense that we're hearing this one theme, this one idea being repackaged, repurposed, reconfigured into different, well, contexts, but keeping this through line of telling the story with the same theme. Let's keep on going to Invincibility. Oh, not Starman. That is literally not what I was expecting. I was expecting us to hear that Starman theme that we've heard through Super Mario, at least 2, 3 at Super Mario World. We might have heard it back at Super Mario 1 as well. You know, the one that's... And at the top it's... But no, here Invincibility sounds radically different. So what's happening is Invincibility is playing around with, there's a couple other things in there, but it's playing around with the interval of a perfect fifth. It starts off with a B, an E and a B, an E and a B, which if E is 1, B is 5, Y E is 1, F is 2, G is 3, A is 4, and then B is 5. In music, we don't have an H. After G, we go straight back to A. Really interesting, and again, not at all what I was expecting. I was expecting to hear that Starman theme. And let's see what else this OSD has in next. We're live. Okay, let's see if we can grab that real quick. Let's do it up an octave. Oh, I muted it by accident. Oh my gosh! Whatever, it's in D. I'm a little low on sleep today, so the brain's not computing the way it could be. Let's check out the next one. See, now that is actually closer to the Starman theme. In fact, I'll play the Starman theme also. Like, that's actually closer to the Starman theme. We're going 5 to 1, which creates that 4 relationship. Why? Well, okay, you might say, well, hang on a second. You said the Starman theme was a 2 to a 1, which is correct. It is 2 to 1. But still, you can play the Starman theme over that. So I liked it. That really, we were in the key of D major, and we had a 5 to a 1 there to create the bonus game. At least the chords there. Let's keep going with the next bonus game. Did we just do it? I think we might have just did it. We sure did. All right, so what we just heard there is a chromaticism. We're at a chromaticism going from A to B flat to B natural. Chromaticism means that there's a half step between each one of these notes. And if you're wondering what on earth is a half step, well, I'll explain it to you. In Western music culture, we have 12 notes. And between all those 12 notes, there is a distance of a half step. So for example, if I play this note, and then I play this note, that you just heard, the distance between those two sounds is a half step. Also, you can think about it as Jaws. So the distance of a half step equals Jaws, and we like to put these little shark teeth to remind us that yes, it is a half step. So we have A, the B flat, which is a half step, and then a half step to B. So it's the smallest distance between two notes in Western music culture that you can have. And when you have those in a row, it's called a chromaticism. Chromaticism. Chroma equals color. And yes, I'm American, so there's no U there. All right, let's keep it going. So, what do we have? Again, the key of D major. Not the first time we've heard it in this OST so far. Oh, and then we hear, what do we hear right at the end? We hear the same chromaticism as we had from bonus game grabber. So this little dum-ba-dum-ba-dum that we hear right here, we hear again, and it's the same notes in the bonus game win, Super Mario Land 2. How cool is that? So we're actually seeing these bonus games tied together. And right at the end of here, instead of bow from like Super Mario World, just do. That's like the ending. And the ending we just heard right up here, and that's that chromaticism. All right, let's keep cooking. So underlying again the key of D major, the first time we've seen D major heavily featured in a Super Mario game. And we're hearing the underlying harmony of 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, like that. So what this is doing, this is creating a tonic area. Well, here, we're going to borrow from classical music with the way we're going to write this down. Classical theory. We're going to do tonic. That's a little long. Tonic, dominant, and then we have the tonic area here again. And so what we have, this is one of the most classic ways of telling a story in music. So the dominant area is going to be like the tension, and the tonic area, I know it says T, and like I just said tension, and you sing the letter T, but no, this is T for tonic. Tonic, which equals your home base. This is a house. In case you're wondering, no, this is not an art drawing channel. This is a music channel, so, you know, forgive the poor art. Oh my gosh, and the roof is the wrong way relative to the house. That's okay. And there's a chimney, and it's pointed sideways, defying the laws of physics. And the smoke is coming out sideways and actually going downward, if you want to know just how much fun we're having right now. Okay, so we have the tonic area, the dominant area, and the tonic area. Tonic area is home. Dominant area, this is like boss. You know, this is our boss monster thing. It's got 2 little horns and then 2 ears. And it's got a little bit of hair right here. This is our boss. That's kind of a cute boss. Oh, but it's angry. Angry boss. Okay, this is our boss area. And so what we can see inside of the music in the same way a video game tells us a story, the music is also telling us a story through the idea of here's a place of safety. That's the tonic area. This is a place of resolution and home, here and here. And then we have a place of tension, which is right here, the dominant area. And so we could hear this story being told in the music, just with the harmony. Okay, and let's keep on rocking in the free world. Nice. That's Super Mario 1 to Super Mario 2. We're hearing that. That counter melody. Right there. Remember, because we talked like, I can't take my eyes off of you idea. Oh, that's so cool. Right. Okay, that was actually back from Koji Kondo, if I'm recalling correctly. All right, check this out. That idea, we heard Koji Kondo write that idea in, it was Super Mario 1, 2, or 3. And the reason I remember that so clearly is because I was like, hey guys, real quick, listen to this idea. And have you played Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past? You know when you go to talk to the fairy in like the fairy caves? All right. Think fairy caves. Now listen to this counter melody. All right, type a 3 in the chat if you can hear the connection between the fairy cave in A Link to the Past and that counter melody right there, which, by the way, we heard Koji Kondo, same dude, in the earlier, I think it was Super Mario Bros. 2. So cool. So cool. What an awesome connection there. Oh, love it. Oh, it's not Koji Kondo, or it's not a super chat. This is Totaka's song. Hopefully today could compose. Right? No. I'm not saying Koji Kondo composed this. What I'm saying is that the same dude composed A Link to the Past and also this idea that showed up in Mario, and now we see the Mario here. Just to be clear. Yes. Yeah, no. I mean, the same dude is in the 2 games of the original. It was Super Mario 2 or the, yeah, cool. All right, we got that sorted. We could also imply a 2-5-1 here. So let's talk about why we could imply a 2-5-1 or a 1 and so let's talk about 2-5-1s because we're seeing these a whole bunch of these Mario games, and I have a feeling we'll see them again. So let's talk about the subdominant and dominant areas and tonic areas. All right, so here we're in the key of D major. The key of D major. I'm gonna make this a little thicker so it's easier to see. All right, D. There we go. Type into the chat if that D is easier to see. All right, and we have a 2 minor to 5. We'll call it 7 to 1. Now this 2, 5, I'm gonna do a little bracket here, and then I'm gonna do a little arrow here. And these brackets and arrows do actually represent real ideas in music. So this bracket shows us that we're going from over here, the subdominant area, to over here the 5 is gonna be the dominant area. And then when we do an arrow up here, it shows us we're going from dominant to the tonic area. Tonic area. So it's subdominant, dominant, and tonic. So like we just talked about, we can tell a story in the music just using the dominant and tonic area. We just discussed that, like the safety and then the boss theme. So what's the subdominant area? Well, think of the tonic area as being safety, and we think about the dominant area as being like danger or the height of tension. Then the subdominant area is like the mid-boss, or when you're walking around in Skyrim and all of a sudden you just wander into a giant who has like a pet bear or something. I don't recall. But anyway, you just like wander into a giant and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I'm underpowered for whatever's going on here. That's like it's like random little bits of danger going on. So the subdominant, it's setting up the danger, right? It's like this is you stumbling. All right, I know we're doing Mario. Okay, so a Mario example. All right, so here you see that there is a blue shell winged Koopa that's bouncing around at the edge of your screen. All right, so you see that there's some danger that's going to happen. Now, you start walking, the screen scrolls over to the right, and you see actually, in fact, there's like 5 blue-shelled winged Koopas waiting to take you to end. It's like, oh my gosh, yeah, so we just escalated the amount of perceived danger from here to here by like a lot. And then let's say you actually are on Yoshi, and then you can just eat the winged Koopas and fly over the rest of them. Well, then we're going to have some type of resolution there. So this story of the music can get told not just with dominant areas, but with subdominant areas that set up the dominant areas that then lead to the tonic areas, which create resolution. So it's like we have mild danger, we have actual danger, then we have safety. So it's creating some nuance in the music. And 06Z says the original melody was in Mario 3. Thank you very much for that. Nostalgia Croson, how's it going? I recognize that name. I saw that name recently somewhere. Anywho, all right, let's keep it rocking. I saw that screen name somewhere recently, I think. Anyway, might have been the screen, might have been somewhere else. All right, right there we have... Maybe something? So there it's something along the lines of a tonic area to a dominant area, but how it exactly gets to the dominant area is going to take me a second to be able to tell you here. Yeah, well, we'll do that later, because that takes me a minute to figure out. Again, bringing us back to the main, like, screen loading theme we heard. Okay, interesting chord progression here. What do we have? We have tonic area on the 1, and it ends on tonic area on the 1. So we've got like a tonic area sandwich here. Then we have subdominant, subdominant. Then we have dominant, dominant. So what's happening here is we can see this first tonic, subdominant, dominant. This subdominant, dominant right here does not resolve. In fact, it goes to another subdominant, dominant before coming back home here. Really interesting chord progression. By the way, this is not something you see every day. Something of a palindrome of a chord progression. It's not a perfect palindrome, obviously, because you'd have to have a 5, then a 2, then a 1. However, really interesting to see this. I mean, it is a somewhat symmetrical chord progression. You don't see this every day in music. Really, really interesting way of navigating it. So what would you see a lot of times in music? Either this goes somewhere else or it goes back to 1, like we saw in the previous example. We had a 2-5 and then it went to 1, and then what did it do? It repeated 2-5-1 if it was to repeat again. So yeah, really interesting chord progression there. Let's keep it cooking. Also, I feel like we've heard... We've heard something like this before, too. Man. What an interesting sound. And also just the ascending nature of it. Mario Zone. I have no idea what would be happening in the game right now. Yeah, no clue, but that's delicious. Let's keep it rocking. Whoa! All right, let's break this down. This is cool, man. All right, we have D major. Yeah. Okay, so we have D major. And then we have D major to like 5. So it's like a 1 to a 5. And then we have oh, interesting. It ends up with use one way you could harmonize it, ending on the D minor. Now it goes to the 5. That goes to the 4. Fascinating stuff. So it ends kind of bluesy, but along the way there, it does some radically different and interesting things. Let's keep it cooking. It's like 6 or 3. But it's like almost 5. It almost sounds like it's going like Dave Brubeck, Take 5, but then adding an extra beat in there. Really interesting. All right, macro zone. So what underlying harmony do we hear in macro zone? Well, in macro zone, the underlying harmony, we're in the key of D major, and we hear the underlying harmony of a 1 major 7 to a flat 3 major 7, much in the same way you can take a bossa nova and kind of take a major 7 chord and move it around. and it like sounds great. Here too, you can kind of slide that major 7 chord around anywhere, and it's gonna sound really cool. I think he's directionally correct there. Let's test that one time. Okay, so for Pumpkin Zone, again, key of D, but this time D minor, no longer D major. And what do we hear? We hear like a 1 minor to a 1 minor major 7 to a 1 minor 6 to a 1. Oh, I missed one thing in there, which was the 1 minor 7. 1 minor 7 to the 1 minor 6. Then it goes to the 4, and then it's like 4 minor, major 7, 4 minor 7. We don't hear the 4 minor 6 there. And then it's like 5 altered to 1 minor, back to 5, creating tension that then brings us back around to 1. Really fascinating piece of music. And just having this internal chromatic walk down here where it starts in scale degree 1, then 7, then flat 7. No, I said flat 7, I wrote flat 6. Then flat 7 to 6. And then doing that 2 times in a row, this time starting on the 4. This is relative to the 4, 1, 7, the flat 7. Oh, interesting stuff. Let's keep it going. Kind of 5 in 1, but creepy. Okay, so why am I laughing? I'm laughing because here at the end, it's making a play on 5 to 1. So again, we're in the key of D major here, and inside of the key of D major, we have what we would think of is, 5, 1, 5, 1. We're going dominant area, tonic, like dominant tonic, we're going tension, resolution, tension, resolution. Here's the thing though, because this is like a graveyard, it doesn't quite go to 1 in the same way. We don't get that same resolution at all in any way, shape, or form. So, let's check this out. That's our 5. That's... We get the 5. Does it really do that? Oh, that is so cool. All right, so the first 5, yes, sounds like 5, check mark. The next 1 hits. So the 1 chord here has a D, an F sharp, and an A inside of it. And the note that the melody hits is an F natural, 1/2 step away from this, which is the smallest distance between two notes. And if you want to know if that creates tension or not, that creates tension. When you have two notes that are 1/2 step away from each other playing at the same time, we have in the upper voices of this chord, but the melody hitting that F natural while you have the F sharp. Back to 5, so it sounds like 5. What is it even doing there? Is that what it's doing? So now, not only are we going to a D, which we would think would be a 1 major, but now it's getting even more tension filled. We're actually getting an F natural and an A flat, the A flat being 1/2 step away from the A that it was previously. This is now creating and implying a 1 diminished. So it's like the 1 chord, every time we hear it, is becoming progressively and progressively more and more tension filled because of the notes that are getting altered inside of it. So cool. What a play. What a riff on a 1 to 5, huh? All right, let's keep it cooking. If you want to know what the musical equivalent of "there's nothing to see here, move along, nothing to see here" is, it's this. It's like, everything's fine, the sun is shining, the flowers are growing, everyone's nice, everyone's happy with this. It's called Haunted House. So I'm guessing not everything is well and good with the world when it comes to this house, but the music is telling us everything's okay, everything's fine, you're safe here. What a juxtaposition. I'd love to know, let me know in the chat, what are you seeing visually here that's juxtaposing with this music that's telling you everything's fine, move along, everything's fine? I'd love to know. Okay, let's pull it back 1 second. Okay, so here again we have a 1 to 5, but not in the key of D major. No, in fact, we're now in the key of B flat major. We do have a 1 to 5, but the 5's altered a little bit from how we might think of it normally. So we have the 1, then the 5 we have is actually going to be a 5, 7, sus 4, or a 5 sus 4, 7 might actually be the better way to do it. Sus 4, 7. We have a 5 sus 4, 7. We have literally an F sus 4, 7. What an interesting chord. And again, playing around with this fundamental relationship of 1 to 5, this tonic dominant relationship, playing around with it, bringing it in so many different colors, in so many different ways, in so many different styles, and in so many different shades, that it's creating many different feelings and emotions and contexts, and just this feeling of playfulness. Let's keep it going. didn't think about diminished the first time I harmonized it. Alright, so let's talk through the harmonization here of like the A section. Or either way. 5 back to the 1. So we've got like a 1 in first inversion or 6, and then 2, 5, 1 and 6 are interchangeable for the tonic area, and then 4, 7 fully diminished 7 of 5 to 1 over 5 to, I believe that was 6 right there at the end. No. 5 of 2, excuse me. To 2, 5, 1. Love me tender, love me true. Oh, well, wrong. Wait, is that a B or not a B? Oh, F sharp minor. Oh, I was projecting it. I don't know if you've ever projected Elvis onto a scenario. I projected Elvis onto a scenario. Okay, interesting. So the B section then goes to the 3. And it does that same little chromatic walk down that we saw in one of the previous ones. So the 3 minor. And then we see 3 minor to 3 minor major 7 to 3 minor 7 to 3 minor 6 to 5 of 5. 5 of 5, and then it's going 2, and the 2 is going to do the same chromatic walk down thing. 2 minor major 7, 2, that's 3, 2 minor 7, the 2 minor 6, and then we're back to like a 1, 6, 2, 5. Whew. Yeah, line cliche action, exactly. Music 5-4-5-2. And it's like, also, the interesting thing here is not going to 5 before going back to 1. But this sort of line descending cliche thing, we've seen this throughout this OST. We saw it a minute ago here in the, like, haunted whatever. So yeah, call it the internal descending line cliche, which also sometimes is a bass line and also sometimes is a melody line. But in this case, we're going to go ahead and call it the internal one. Really cool stuff. Let's keep it going. kind of a 1-4 with this little riff on top of... Hold one moment, please. That sounds fun, though. It's like Mick Gordon's version of the boss battle. Okay, so we have something along the lines of the key of E major, and then something like we could extrapolate out a 1-4. Now, what I'm finding fascinating is we're 2 for 2 on Super Mario Land in terms of the handheld games having a radically different sound, different chord progressions, different keys compared to the console games that we've heard so far. I wonder if this tradition will continue as we head on with the series into the 64 and into the GameCube, and then on into, you know, things like Superstar Saga, which I haven't played in years. I don't even remember the music from Superstar Saga, even though I beat that thing like 30 times when I was a kiddo. It's probably because I had the volume turned all the way down and I was playing under my covers, so my parents wouldn't see me playing and stop me from playing. So that might be why I don't remember the music. I might not have played it with the music, but hey, you know, such is life. All right, let's keep it going. Okay, so what's interesting about this boss battle compared to, say, the boss battles in Super Mario World? Well, first let's talk about what's similar. So what's similar is that in Super Mario World, ooh, that's a W, versus Super Mario Land 2. Okay, so let's see. So same melody idea, so same motif idea present. Check, check. Motif made minor, so minor slash diminished motif, check, not check. This still stays major. That's a really interesting choice to make. Like, we listened to, you know, in Super Mario, like, we broke down. By the way, if you haven't watched my Super Mario World stream, go check that out. Because we broke down, I think, 4 or 5 different versions of how the main motif comes around and how it changes through interval alteration and rhythm alteration to show different emotional context. But here, it's like it's still staying major in a boss fight. Interesting stuff. Let's keep it going. Well, that last part's a little fast, but at the start here... something, we'll figure it out. Oh, it's in first inversion, kind of like... Might literally be all it is. Oh yeah, it is. And so it's just... It's walking up chromatically from F to B flat using major chords is what that is. And again, it seems like the third... Oh no, the one's in there. Yeah, cool. No, not first inversion. Alright, golden coin obtained. It's ending on a G. What a... Someone find me the sheet music for the Golden Coin Obtained. Official. I want the official thing from the Nintendo archive that shows exactly how that should sound. That's what I'm hearing. It's something like maybe a fourth in there, going up a couple octaves of G. Interesting stuff. Let's keep it going. Yes! Yeah, now we're talking. Oh! That, now we're going diminished style. Now we're going minor. Here we go. There's more to the coin obtained. Did I miss it? Oh, I sure did. Don't mind me. Thank you. All right, real quick. Interesting connection between this. Is it that? All right, you want to know something cool? Castle Gates. Guess what we're hearing for Castle Gates? Ladies and gentlemen, if you were paying attention to my Super Mario World stream, you already have the answer here. In Castle Gates, we're hearing perfect fourths being moved around, both by whole steps and half steps and minor thirds, but we're hearing perfect fourths moved around, which, as we know from Super Mario World, if we hear perfect fourths, who was it who was in charge of perfect fourths? It was this dude with the spikes on his thing, and he's he's looking mean, he's got a mouth with teeth, and he's got an arm, and he's got legs. It's Bowser. It's okay. Voila, my art. Bowser. All right, so maybe it's not actually going to be, it is Ganondorfy. Ganondorf might have been stacked fourths as well. Ganondorf's theme. Ganondorf's theme is stacked fourths. And I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember it exactly. I'm totally paraphrasing Ganondorf's theme here. Something like that is Ganondorf's theme, and I think that's fourths as well. Interesting. Great call. Fat Music 5254 in the chat. Great connection. Well done. Oh, this is Wario, not Bowser. Interesting. So perhaps the perfect fourth rather represents big danger. Now this is the minor version. Oh, cool. Okay, really interesting stuff happening here. Now, I did not clock that Wario might be the bad guy in this because I'll tell you, I never thought of Wario as being a bad guy. Ooh, the plot thickens. I will tell you that I played I think it was called Wario Land. It's where you're Wario and it's like you're tiny and there's like big pots and pans and kettles and like you're in a kitchen behind you. If you know what I'm talking about, with that thing, I always thought of Wario being like the hero, just like an inverse thing of Mario, and I never really put two and two together. Wario might be like bad. I kind of like Wario and Waluigi. I know it's Mario upside down. Like, it's bad. Oh, see, I thought it was the inverse. So it's like Mario, and then you just invert the M to the W. Right? Inversion, good, bad, God, devil, Christ, Antichrist type thing, inversion, horror movie, crosses spinning upside down. That's what I was thinking. All right, we're gonna listen through all three stages here. All right, so let's talk about the Wario battle. We hear this bass line. That's what it is. Yeah, I got it right. I heard that right. Why is this messing me up? Nah! That, in fact, I'll play it along with the thing here. And so what we hear, interestingly, is almost this riff on, like, it's bringing classical music into the mix. How is it bringing classical music into the mix? Well, because when it's descending, it's skipping the 7, and when it's ascending, or ascending, it has the 7 in it. And that we can go back and, this might be a tenuous thing, but I think it's cool to talk about. If we talk about something called the melodic minor scale, specifically the classical melodic minor scale, when we descend, going down the scale, it goes 1 flat 7. And when we go up the scale, it goes 7-1. And so this is actually bringing that 7-1 and flat 7-1 relationship from that classical melodic minor here into the Battle with Wario Part 2. Let's check out the ending. Yeah, we've heard that in another... That's from another Mario game. What do we hear that from? Which game was that? We hear that. What game was that from? We heard that in some game over and over again. What was that from? Guys, verbatim, we've heard that exact figure in another game. Zelda? No, it was something recent we listened to. But that is another connection. So what's cool here too is going back in time through this Mario series is we're finding so many ideas that we hear it not just in the Mario games that come later, but in other games that come later too, because these are so influential. I don't know what to do with that. Let's do it again. Just a little delay before that last note. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, type SML in the chat or in the comments if you enjoyed the Super Mario Land OST. Totally original, delightful stuff. I absolutely loved this. I dug this. Totally different from the console games, but so was Super Mario Land 1. Radically different from the console games, but like we saw, taking a couple of ideas from the console games and weaving it in for series level continuity. Love this stuff. Have a fantastic, phenomenal rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.